Okay, let's see. Mia Villarreal.
All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our meeting today. I am Mario Rosales, your Advanced Academics Director with United Independent School District. We're here to give you information on the magnet programs. We're hoping that, hoping that we can answer most of your questions. So we're going to reserve it till the end to try to answer whatever questions you have on the chat. Just want to remind you that next
Can you hear me there?
I want to make sure that everybody has their mics muted so that we can move forward. Just a reminder that next Wednesday we have a meeting on the 27th, also at 6 p.m. and this is to
Test.
review the AP program. All right, so here are the rules, so that way everybody will be able to hear what we're about to say. So I'll give you some time to look over the Zoom meeting guidelines. Okay, somebody raised their hand.
Okay, good. Okay. Give me one second.
I have provided some documents on your chat so that in reference to the files for the meetings that are upcoming, we have the next one on the 27th of this month at 6 p.m. And then the next one would be on February the 4th, also at 6 p.m. Want to make sure that everybody can see those flyers on your chat.
Mr. Rosales, we can't see anything. I don't have any links on the chat.
All right, we'll try to share it again so that way I can, let's see. I still have a lot of people that are joining in, so just waiting for them to.
Mr. Rosales, I can see it. I can see it. It is there. I don't know if I move the slide to the left and I can see it there.
Okay. If not, I'll show you in a moment after the presentation how to access it once we're done. Thank you, Ms. Lerma.
You're welcome, sir.
Again, thank you for joining us, and we'll be starting shortly. Still have a lot of people that are joining us, so we're happy to present the information. We have over 300 people now. So hoping that everything is going to go well. And by not having the cameras on, hopefully the presentation will also move swiftly. So if you have your cameras on, you might want to turn them off. If you're joining us, I'll be presenting, having the Magnet Deans introduce themselves next, okay? So we're going to start off with Miss Maria Alarcón. She's with the United Magnet Program. So she's going to say a few words. I'm going to stop sharing momentarily. All right, Miss Alarcón.
Hello, parents. Welcome to this meeting of a lot of information. One of our goals at United, is of course to create an awareness of the skills necessary for the development of successful future leaders in the areas of engineering and advanced technology. By the end of the 4 years, our magnet students do end up with some certifications. Some of the certifications are the AutoCAD, certified user, the Microsoft user specialist, the OSHA, and inventor. We also are adding another certification to our students, which is Fusion. If you have any questions, we're just a phone call away, and welcome to this meeting.
Then we have Ms. Gaona with the Alexander Magnet Program.
Good evening, parents, students. My name is Elvira Gaona, and I'd like to welcome you to our Alexander Magnet for health science. And at our magnet schools, students and parents, we have numerous certifications that the students go through in addition to their advanced rigorous curriculum. Their freshman and senior years, they get certified in first aid and CPR. In their junior year, they take a dental assisting class that certifies them nationwide to be a dental assistant. And as a senior, the students get an opportunity to go through a clinical rotation 2-block class that they also, after doing clinicals at different doctor's offices and the local hospitals, and by the way, right now we're doing everything virtually. They also have an opportunity to sit out for the medical assisting certification. So they get quite a few certificates before they actually finish high school. So making them very marketable, in addition to maybe getting a part-time job while they're going to college to get some experience before they actually hopefully pursue a career in health science. So with that being said, I look forward to having all of your children and students taking the magnet exam and hopefully getting accepted into one of our great schools, because all magnet schools at United ISD are worth looking into and trying to get into. So welcome everyone, and we look forward to meeting all of you.
Thank you, Mrs. Gaona. And now Mr. Sine Koroma with United South Magnet.
Good evening, parents. On behalf of our principal, Mrs. Adriana Ramirez, we want to thank you and welcome you to the meeting, to all our future planters. We hope and trust that everybody is well and safe in these very difficult times. As we are going to be listening to the presentation from Mr. Ramirez tonight, our magnet program is for business and advanced technology. And we are very excited that the incoming group for this year will be the first group that are going to be getting the business route, or they can go the technology route. This group that is coming in will have an opportunity for a very, very much needed out there, cybersecurity. And by the time they finish high school, they can get a certificate of distribution, which is a very, very common business here in Laredo with transportation. And of course, they can also get a certificate from the cybersecurity program. In addition to that, our students here and all our other magnet programs, we have the opportunity of earning college credits through our dual enrollment program. So we hope and trust that they will have so we are happy to. Cannot hear me?
No, Mr. Karoma, I think we're still having problems with your microphone.
It says Blanca Galaxy is unmuted. So maybe that's that static.
No, Mr. Karoma was having problems with his microphone earlier.
Can you hear me now?
No, you're still having static, sir. We'll keep on going, and then hopefully at the end we'll give you another opportunity.
Sorry about that.
All right. So for now, if you can all mute your mic so that I can move forward and share the information that you are here for today. So again, we recommend that all of you shut off your cameras and also your microphones so that we can move forward with the information. And then at the end, we'll address some of the questions you will be posting on the chat, or perhaps there will be some time so where we can answer some of the questions when you ask us through the microphone. So for now, please mute your mics. And I'm going to move forward with the information. So this is the same information your child received at the middle school presentation last week and this week. So we're going to go over some of the main points and perhaps answer some questions that were not answered on the video. The video is about an hour long, but we're not going to show the video. We're just going to go over the PowerPoint. The videos, I'll show you where they can be found as I go through the presentation. So first of all, the application, the deadline is Wednesday, January the 27th. That's next week. It'll be after midnight. The reason it's after midnight is because we're now submitting the applications online through the Magnet portal, and you can apply at magnetapply.uisd.net. So if you go there, you can essentially create yourself a username and password, and pretty much this is the Magnet website that you can go to, and essentially you can register here, and once you register, you can log in so that you can continue with the application process. Can you all see the website or no? Let me go ahead and stop. Yes, you can? Okay. All right. So then it is one standard online application. It's the same for everybody, regardless of which Magnet program you would like to go to. You do need a GPA of 80, and that is required. If you don't have your report cards for 7th and 8th grade, you can still submit your application as final. And just make sure you submit whatever temporary grades you might have for the 8th grade, because I know that some of the grades are still not, your report cards for 8th grade are still not out yet. So for now, you can submit whatever you like in reference to grades. And then your counselor will eventually verify that you do have a GPA of 80, because they'll review the applications as you submit them. All right, so the website, can you see the website at United ISD? This is the website that I was referring to. So all the information that you need is at the Magnet info information. There's the Zoom link, the timeline, the portal, the application video in Spanish as well, English and Spanish flyer, and the guidelines, the PowerPoint that I'm sharing with you as well. Also Magnet video in English and in Spanish as well. So we have all that information there for you as well. Okay. So y'all can see the website, right? Okay. All right. So then the other process that we need to make sure that you choose where you would like to go if you get selected based on your grades and your COGAT score. So you need to make sure you select your choices as which one you want first, which one you want second, which one you want third. So that way we can get an idea once we start sending those emails or phone calls to ask you where you would like to go if you qualify. The online applications must have current phone numbers and email addresses in case we can't get a hold of you with either email or phone. All right. Okay. All right. An on-site online testing date and site must be selected based on your feeder school, because we want to make sure that we are as safe as possible whenever you're ready to take the assessment. So we recommend you go with your feeder school and you test as soon as possible. So that way we can have your scores and we're ready to evaluate your application. Remember that the online application requires a parent or guardian sign consent agreement so that you can test online and on site. So that all that information can be obtained from the portal. You do need a composite average of 80, and that is from your math, your science, your language arts reading class, and your social studies class. We're looking at the final report card in the 7th grade and the January 2021 report card for the 8th grade. All right. So again, the January 2021 report card for 8th grade, if you don't have it by the 27th midnight, you can submit whatever you have, and then your counselor will verify whether you have that 80% overall average. All students will take the online COGAT exam, which is a reasoning and problem-solving test. You will need a Chromebook or a laptop to take the on-site online COGAT assessment. All UISD middle school students have their own Chromebook, so they need to make sure they bring it along with their charger. In case you run out of power, make sure you charge it the night before so that you won't run out of power when you're taking the test. You do need to bring pencils, and you do need to bring headphones or earphones, because the online assessment, when you take it on Chromebook, requires headphones so that you can hear the instructions. It is self-paced because it's audio-led, but there'll be a teacher in the classroom overseeing 10 students so that they can take the assessment. Remember that 60% of the overall rank will be based on your GPA, and 40% will be based on that COGAT exam that you will be taking. The exam, the only information we have is that it's Riverside Insights, and you can go to the website if you want to find out more about the exam. It is the level 13-14 exam. It is COGAT Form 7, and it is level 13-14 that we're using. All right, so if you look at the exam for level 13-14, sorry, you'll notice here at the bottom that it takes approximately an hour and a half to take the assessment. It is made up of 3 batteries: the verbal battery, the quantitative battery,
This is the test you gotta take so they can accept you at the magnet school.
and the nonverbal battery.
Give me my AirPods and you grab one and I grab one.
Okay, so each battery is made up of 3 subtests, and each subtest has approximately 10 questions there. I'm sorry, 10 minutes. It takes 10 minutes for each section, for a total of 30 minutes per battery. The next section is the quantitative battery. It has, again, 3 subtests. It takes 10 minutes apiece, and it takes a total of 30 minutes. And then the next session would be, the last session is the nonverbal battery, which is test 7, 8, and 9, which is 10 minutes apiece, another 30 minutes. Now, this is an approximate time because remember that when you get there, they have to prepare you to see whether your Chromebook is properly set to take the assessment. One of the things we like for you to remind your child is that they have to download the app through their kiosk. so that they can have it ready on the day of the test. So all they have to do is on the day of the test, it's fully charged, and they can have the application where they double click on it. It'll take them straight to where they have to log in, because they will need a session number that the teacher will give them in order to be able to access the test online. All right. So verbal analogies, this is an example of a verbal analogy. All right. This is an example of verbal classification. So I'm giving you examples of what's going to be on the test. The only thing we can tell you is Riverside Insights is the maker of this assessment, the COGAT assessment. This is an example of number analogies. This is an example of number puzzles. This is an example, another example of number puzzles. And this is an example of number series. So just to give you an idea of what your child would be taking, it is not an achievement test. It is not based on how much they've learned in school. It is simply based on their cognitive abilities as they have matured to being in the 8th grade. The nonverbal battery is made up of figure matrices like so, paper folding like so, and figure classification like that. So this is just to give you an idea of what your child will be taking in terms of the COGAT. All right, so moving on. Again, you need to make sure that your child has the parent or guardian consent agreement, so that way they can test online, on site, on the day that you all indicated in the application. Remember that the students must online test at their feeder high school, since all magnet programs require the same type of testing. So everybody's taking the same type of test. The first test date is Saturday, February the 6th at 8. They recommend that you be there by 8 in the morning so that they can start clearing you based on whatever protocols they have. So they would like for you to be there by 8, because at 8:30 you should already be in your classroom getting ready to start on with that test. So it'll be at the United High School 9th grade campus, not the main one. It will be at the United South High School campus. It will also be at the LBJ High School campus, and it would also be at the Alexander High School campus. So this would be your first opportunity to test. All campuses will be following COVID-19 protocols, which can be found at this site. This is a site where you can find information on the protocols, health protocols. Okay. Additional online testing dates are as follow. The next testing day would be on February the 13th at the Student Activity Complex. This will be limited number of testing because the facilities are not as large as the high schools. So this will be limited testing. So if your child does not get to test on this day, we will probably move your child to a different date depending on the circumstances during that time frame. The last opportunity will be on February 27th. Again, it will be at United South High School only. And there will be a possibility that there might be a third testing session, which is February the 20th, but we don't know yet how many students will be able to test there. And we're thinking of Antonio Gonzalez Middle School. That would be on February the 20th, but it's not on the PowerPoint because we are not sure yet. We're waiting on the final numbers, and we will not know the final numbers until after midnight, January the 27th. Again, students are encouraged to test on February the 6th because you never know what's going to happen in the future. So the sooner, the better. Again, if anything happens with the testing or due to COVID-19, we will let you know via email that you have provided via the magnet portal. Again, it recommended that you get there by 8 in the morning because they start pretty much doing what they need to by 8:30. So make sure you get there by 8 in the morning because you have to be cleared. Your temperature has to be taken and you have to answer some questions. So you need to make sure that you're cleared and ready to go and in your classroom by 8:30. How long does the test take? It's about an hour and a half, but it depends on the logistics. Again, all tests are scored electronically by Riverside Publishing Company, Riverside Insights. So we have nothing to do with the scoring. Everything is done through Riverside Publishing Company. All right. Once the testing scores have arrived, all students will be ranked on the district list based on the overall composite score. Parents will be notified between April 14 through 16, only if you have qualified based on rank and space into a magnet program. A declaration letter of intent must be returned by the applicant by April 23rd to reserve your slot. So that means that if you do qualify based on your rank and space, you will get an email indicating that you must return the declaration letter of intent by April 23rd to reserve your slot. Once you return this letter, then each magnet program will be sending their own letter to the address that you provided on the application. So each magnet program will send a letter of intent to the address you provided on your application. Again, if you are accepted, you will get a declaration letter of intent from us. Once you return that letter, then the magnet programs will know that you have accepted your slot. So then they will send you another form, which is called the letter of intent, that you have to return to their program. And then from that point forward, they will be sending you the information that you need in order to be able to be part of that program, whether it be Alexander, United, or United South. All students must return the letter of intent that is sent by the magnet program by May the 3rd. If you do not return it by May the 3rd, then your slot will be given up to somebody else. So make sure you meet the deadline of April 23rd. And if you do get that declaration letter back to us, you need to make sure you submit the letter of intent to the magnet program by May the 3rd. The declaration letter of intent must be submitted to the email that will be provided to you. You will probably have to upload it so that way we can have that letter, the declaration letter of intent. Again, April 23rd is for us, the district level. May the 3rd is for the magnet program that you accepted based on your declaration letter of intent. It's two different forms. All right, let me give you an example how this works. This is an example of 30 students that took the COGAT and applied to the magnet program maybe 10 years ago. So they were ranked based on their COGAT score, which is 30%. It says COGAT right here. And then GPA, this is their GPA. And then this is the overall average. The third column would be the overall average, okay? So you'll notice that the rank is based on the composite average, all right? Now notice that there's different colors. The orange one, it's because the first child, when they got the letter, they decided they wanted to go to United High School. Then the second child, through the 16th child, wanted to go to Alexander. So then the 17th, the one that's ranked 17th wanted to go to United. The one that was ranked 28 wanted to go to United South. So we keep doing this until we have finally filled up the magnet programs. After the magnet programs have been filled up, then the number of slots that will be available is based on which programs have not filled up. So for example, last year, after 595 phone calls we made, each magnet program had filled up with 150 students, which is the limit. We can only accept 150 students. So the higher you rank, the more power you're going to have to select which magnet program you would like to go to, whether it be Alexander, whether it be United, or whether it be United South. Okay, so this is pretty much the process as what we do. So last year we had 1,000 applicants and we ranked them from 1 to 1,000. And based on that ranking, that determines whether you're going to get a letter or a phone call, depending on what your rank is. The higher you rank, the number one here has the most power to choose which program they want to go to. Again, as soon as we have every program with 150 students, the phone calls stop, the letters stop, the emails stop. So at that point, we have 150 in each magnet program. Okay. All right. So if you want to know more information or if you have any extra questions, you can email us at magnet@uisd.net. Or you want specifically to ask questions about United, you can call Miss Alarcón. You can call her or email her. Miss Gaona at the Alexander Magnet, there's her phone number and email. Mr. Coroma at the United South High School Magnet, there's his phone number and email. And Miss Moore or Miss Lopez, which are our assistants at the district level. You can call Ms. Lopez at 473-5244, or you can call Ms. Moore at 473-2160, or you can email them if you would like more information based on what I presented. All right. Now, once you are in the magnet program, you can also apply to the Early Start Pathway program if you like. This is a dual credit program that offers students an opportunity to earn college credit while still in high school. So there are two things that are required when you're in the magnet program. You either have to take AP or pre-AP courses, or you're going to be taking dual credit courses. All right. So those are some of the choices you have. The Early Start Pathway program, it's based upon successful completion of a dual credit course. A student will earn dual credit, which means that high school and college credit will be earned simultaneously. These courses provide advanced academic instruction beyond or in greater depth than the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills for a corresponding high school course. You will be getting high school and college credit for these courses if you get a grade that is based on the college, which in this case is Loreto College and their guidelines. Also, you can apply to this program until May 21st of this year. And we'll be giving another presentation on February the 4th at 6 p.m. in case you're interested in the Early Start Pathway program. You do need an 85 average, again, your 7th grade and your January 2021 report card. You will also need to take the TSIA 1.0 or TSIA 2.0. The TSIA 2.0 is the new college entrance assessment for Texas. It is part of the Texas Success Initiative program designed to help your college or university determine if you're ready for college level courses, especially in the areas of reading, writing, and mathematics. The old assessment, you had to get a 351 in reading and a 340 and a 4 on the essay in writing. The new one, which went into effect January the 11th, it requires that you have a score of greater than or equal to 945 with an essay score of greater than or equal to 5. Or if you get a score of less than 945, you must have a diagnostic level of greater than or equal to 5 and an essay score of greater than or equal to 5. So that is the new TSIA 2.0. All right. So again, I would like to remind you that next Wednesday at 6 p.m. we will be having the AP Parent Night. So this is where we explain the AP program. So this is part of the magnet requirements that if you're going to be in the magnet program, you're either going to take dual credit courses or AP courses. So this is the night to attend so that you can get more information on the AP program. If you would like more information on the Early Start Pathway program, then we recommend that you see us on February the 4th at 6 p.m. And I've included the Zoom meeting as well. And I will be providing the flyers on the website that I showed you. So that way you can access the meeting. So I did provide it on the chat. So I'm hoping that you got it. If not, like I said, I'll be posting it again on the website, the Advanced Academics website, so that you can get the information that you need. All right. So at this time, I'm going to open it up back to Ms. Alarcon to see if she would like to address any of the questions that she saw on the chat. So I'm going to stop sharing, okay? Go ahead, Ms. Alarcon.
Hello. Hello again, everybody. Some of the questions are, as a parent, I'm pretty sure that you are a little bit concerned with safety issues, especially what we're living, right now here in Laredo. I can assure you that we are taking all precautions possible to keep the safety of your children and the safety of the teachers that are going to be helping and all that. For example, at in my school, we're going to have two entrances. We're going to have the front entrance and the back entrance to avoid crowds. We are going to have marks on the floor for the students to be 6 feet apart as they're coming in. Administrators are going to be checking their temperatures, are going to be asking what we call the Dr. Owl questions, which is the COVID questions. We are going to be checking that the student is on the roster. We kindly, are asking our parents not to get down from their cars.
How can I help you?
And just to let the student, get down to
let me check
avoid.
if we're taking walk-ins for that. Yes.
To avoid.
Yeah, we can take you right now if you.
I'm sorry. There's a mic that it's not muted. Thank you.
I just muted them.
Okay, thank you. So like I said, we're taking all precautions. We are going to test 10 students per classroom. That was another question that some of the parents had. So we're not going to have big groups. Everybody's going to be required to wear their masks. We are going to, one of the things that I wanted to mention is that at the high schools, we already experienced testing, over 300 students at a particular site. And so we already, we did this in December. So we already tried, all these precautions with other students before. So if anybody else from my colleagues, would like to add anything about the safety issues that parents might have or questions.
Okay, Ms. Gaona, would you like to join in?
Yes. Like Ms. Alarcon mentioned, we are taking and following all city and state protocols. We do ask for you if your child is testing at Alexander, and I know Ms. Alarcon is following something similar to Mr. Coroma at United South, and that is we will give you further information as to, I will be dividing the alphabet by last name, A through M in the front and N through Z in the back. And that means if your last name starts with the letter A through M, you drop off your child in the front of the school. There will be school personnel in the front of the school. We ask parents, like Ms. Alarcon mentioned, not to get off their vehicles. Your children, please entrust your children with us. We are going to take care of them. But we do want them to follow, our procedures, and that is while they're lining up before, because their temperature will be taken at the front door, at the back door, whichever your last name falls into. And the first things first is we're going to put the students 6 feet apart, and we do not want the parents to get off the vehicles, because before you know it, we'll have a big group of personnel in the front of the school or in the back of the school, and we've got to follow COVID protocol. So we will take their temperature, ask them questions in reference to COVID, and then they will be assigned to their classrooms. Again, like the other administrators mentioned to you and Mr. Rosales, the ratio is 10-1. We are going to allow the students to take their cell phones into the testing classroom. They will not be allowed to use it during the testing. However, when the testing is over as a class, then the students will contact you, parents. When you are outside in the school parking lot, then we will release your child one at a time to go to the parking lot and meet with their parents so they can leave campus. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gaona. Mr.
Yes.
Coroma, were you able to fix your mic?
I am having trouble with my microphone. I don't know. Can you hear me? Yes, as we've heard from my colleagues, we know that this is a very difficult time, and there are a lot of concerns as I was reading some of the questions on the chat that came up. But we have done this. This is not the first time we're going to be having students testing. And
All right, Mr. Coroma, it's happening again.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
It's happening again.
We will send information on the protocols we're going to be following to parents so that on the day for the test, they will know exactly how to get to campus and how things are going to be running. I sincerely apologize that I'm having trouble with my microphone.
Mr. Rosales, if I may, I just wanted to add one last thing. I know that your counselors are going to be letting you know that, yes, your child will need, to bring their Chromebook. If they are students of UISD at this point, we are asking you all to bring for them to bring their Chromebooks. And even though we are telling them to charge them the night before, we are kindly also asking for them to bring their chargers. Because we never know, how good of the battery or how much is going to last, throughout this exam of an hour and a half. And of course, we don't want them to feel, that if their battery is dying, we're not going to be having on-site chargers for their Chromebooks. So we do ask for them to bring their own chargers to their Chromebooks. Now, if the student is not from UISD, we are going to have the students test at our labs. We are going to have a lab available for the students who do not have Chromebooks from UISD. As technology they did mention that if they bring their own, they won't be able to access the test, on their own device.
So I wanted to go ahead and share some of the links again because I've seen some of the questions that are popping up. So I wanted to make sure that I share the link. So I'm trying to. Can you all see this? This is the UISD.net link where you go to check what the health protocols that we're going to be following. It's right here. So the way you go to this site is you have to type, let's see, I'm going to go ahead and, it's UISD.net.
The health services, Mr. Rosales, so I can put it in the chat.
Yes, that's the one.
Okay,
this is a magnet portal. This is magnetapply.uisd.net. This is where you have to create your password. You have to register and provide a password so that later on you can log in. And once you log in, you're able to to get that information. If you go to on how to apply, it shows you how to do it in English and it shows you how to do it in Spanish. It also gives you more information if you want to look at your United, for example, you can click on brochure. United South, you can click on the brochure. Alexandra High School, you can click on the brochure. So all that information is from this website. All right, this is the Advanced Academics website. Again, you go to UISD.net, you go to departments, and you select pretty much Advanced Academics. It'll take you to Advanced Academics. Under Magnet Info, it has the Magnet portal there, the Magnet application process video in English or in Spanish, the flyer in English and Spanish, the guidelines, which is the PowerPoint that we just presented, and also the rules we have in place, as well as Magnet video in English and in Spanish. So all that information is here, and we have past information for the early start pathway for last year, in case you want to look at that. If you want to, again, to look at the brochures, they're also here as well. So all that information is pretty much here. Information on advanced placement programs as well is also here. You can go under advanced placement and it'll show you everything as well. All right, for the COGAT test, you can go to riversideinsights.com and you can find more information on the COGAT, or you can just Google it, but we don't sanction anything that's on the website except whatever is provided from Riverside Insights. All right. Again, if you go back to the Advanced Academics website, if you go to Home, if you go to Return to School Protocols, this pretty much gives you the information that we are using for when we test. So this is parents again. You can go to your health protocols right here and it shows you what we're doing. Pretty much, I think they provided the link in the chat, so it pretty much tells you what the student has to do in terms of self-screening and the questions that they'll be asking them whenever they show up to the campus before they actually go into the classroom. So every measure will be taken in terms of social distancing, face coverings, temperature checks. All of that will be taken care of at each campus through the Magnet deans and their staff. So we're pretty much making you aware that if we do find that a child has been tested positive, then they will not be able to show up on campus. We will be checking them right before they get to the testing site through the middle schools that they attend. If they're attending a private middle school or they're out of district, we will be reaching out to them via email to ask them these questions as well before they get to the testing site. Again, if they're from out of district, they will be testing in the computer labs. If they are from the district, they will be testing in groups of 10 with their Chromebooks. So make sure you bring your charger, make sure you bring your pencils, make sure you bring your headphones or your earphones to make sure that everything that you need is at your disposal.
Mr. Rosales, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but there's a question that's been asked a lot today about what app has to be downloaded to their Chromebooks before taking the test. You mentioned it, but didn't mention the name of the app.
It's on their Chromebooks. If you go to their kiosk, let me show you what that app looks like, okay? So let me share that so that way you can see it.
They already have the app installed in their Chromebooks?
Yes, all they have to do is download it from their kiosk. So let me check.
And what about the students who don't have Chromebooks?
If they're from out of district, they will be going to the labs and they'll be using desktop, so they don't need that app. They'll be using the browsers that are connected in the desktop.
And what if they're using their home laptop?
No, if they're from out of district, they must use the district labs because they have to log in and they will not be able to log in to access the browser without it. So that has to be done through the desktop labs if they're from out of the district.
Mr. Rosales, may I interject here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, students, this is a reminder. Every time we do our presentations, we always give insight to our students of, what to do the night before. Okay, as a parent and as an educator, we recommend that the night before you take the test, you get a good night's rest. Well, what does that mean? That means that you go to bed early. You turn off all your electronics, okay? That includes your iPad, computer, cell phone, and go to bed early, get a good night's rest, wake up early, shower if you didn't shower the night before, get a good breakfast, and then get ready for the test, okay? Like some of my fellow administrators already mentioned, and Mr. Rosales mentioned as well, some of you asked questions in reference to how do we dress? Is there a dress code? No, just dress appropriately, dress in layers. Sometimes, the room may be chilly. We're going to try to control the room temperatures as best as we can, but some students are colder than others. So, dress in layers, depending on how the weather is that day, dress in layers. Always, a hoodie, a jacket, another shirt, a light sweater, and make sure that you bring 2 pencils. Make sure that you bring your phone because that phone is your exit out. When you finish, we're going to be dismissing individually, not as a group, because we don't want the students to be together. Okay? So again, good night's rest, turn off electronics in the morning, get dressed in layers, have a good breakfast, and get ready to come to campus. Once you get to campus, parents, again, we reiterate, drop off your children at the school, whether it's in the front or the back, depending on the letter of your last name. Do not get off the vehicles. We're going to try to control and have as few people as possible in the parking lots and outside by the entrances. Okay, so did I forget anything, deans?
Very good, Ms. Gaona.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Yes, I have a question, and somebody has asked also that before. For the parents that we don't feel comfortable sending our kids to school because of the pandemic, and that because there's so many cases right now in the city and things are escalating so fast, is there going to be an option to do it online, or is there going to be an option to do it later in whatever date that everybody's vaccinated?
There is a possibility that might happen, but at this time we do not know yet. So the only thing we have available is what we're presenting to you. So there is a possibility, like I said, that there might be some delays in the testing. It might not happen in February. It might happen at a later date, depending on what develops with what you just mentioned. So this is just preliminary information that we're sharing. This is what we have right now. And if it doesn't happen, then we will advise all applicants as to when the testing dates will be made available. All right. So we have the Riverside Data Manager app that everybody was asking. It's on the screen in case you want to check to make sure that your child has it on their Chromebook and their kiosk, and that they download it from their kiosk so that they can have it accessible for taking the test. This is recorded, so I will be posting it on the website that I showed you once this recording is processed. All right. So are there any more questions? Anybody else? Ms. Alarcon, would you like to say anything else? Mr. Coroma, Ms. Gaona? If not, I thank you very much. Have a good night. And I appreciate your time. And like I said, if there's any changes, we will advise the applicants via email. It is important that they submit their application by January 27th. And if the testing dates change, they will be advised via email. You need to make sure you provide the emails when you submit your application so that you can get that information, updated information, as the time goes on. So keep that in mind that there may be some changes, and we will keep you informed of all that.
Excuse me.
Thank you very much.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Yes, I had a question. The path to college, is that done through TAMIU or LC?
No, that is through Laredo College.
Okay, and is there any out-of-pocket cost for that? For books?
No, ma'am. If they qualify, they're pretty much all their college dual credit hours are paid for, including textbooks, fees, tuition, all of that.
Okay, great. One more question. I was listening to you talking about certifications and all that. Those will they be getting their, I guess, their initial college classes paid for, or only the path to whatever certification they choose?
The Early Start Pathway Program, they have a buffet of 33 college hours they can choose from, plus the ones that we offer during the college summer academy through Laredo College. So they can earn up to close to 60 college hours, depending on whether they take AP exams and pass them, whether they take online courses through the Gold program. There's a lot of opportunity. They might end up with their associate's degree before they even graduate from high school.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Welcome. You're welcome.
And that, if I can add, that can be combined with your magnet courses. So your child can have dual classes and take magnet courses. And the other thing that I just wanted to add is that our phone numbers were, we can put them on the chat. But if there's any other questions, more specific questions that you might have, you can always call our offices.
Or you can email us at magnet@uisd.net. Sorry.
Mr. Rosales,
Yes.
when we're done with the application and have uploaded the report cards, you save it and it says saved as final draft. But is that it? Is that submitted, or should we be getting some kind of confirmation that it's been submitted?
You should be getting an email saying that you have submitted it in the final phase. If you haven't, just make sure you call us and we'll try to figure out what's wrong.
Thank you.
Just make sure you check your
Sir,
spam.
I have a question. It's because I did. Go ahead. I'm sorry. It's because I went ahead and we filled out the application for my daughter. The only thing, it didn't give us an option to upload her report card.
It should be there. You can call us tomorrow and we'll help you. 473-2160. Or you can call us at 473-5244 and we'll be able to help you.
I already filled it out and there is a way. It gives you a way to upload.
Yes.
A reminder to all students. A reminder to all students, make sure you wear your masks, okay? As soon as you get off your car, you're wearing your masks, okay? Please. Thank
Again,
you.
the report cards are not uploaded by your school. They have to be uploaded by the applicant unless you give your counselor your username and password. Then they'll upload the grades for you. The dual credit program is open to all students that meet the criteria. The early college program, you would have to call Ms. Yesenia Sandoval at LBJ for them to tell you when they'll be having that meeting. But if you go to the UISD website, it gives you information on the early college program.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
The link to the mandatory early college video is already available, correct?
That is correct.
We can already complete it?
I believe so, yes. You have to complete it. You get a certificate in order to be able to give your child an opportunity to be part of the lottery.
Okay, thank you for
You're welcome.
clarification.
Mr. Rosales, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
My student uses her laptop. She's an in-district student. Will she be testing at the lab because it's not a Chromebook?
If it's not a Chromebook, we strongly recommend you get one. If not, we'll try to, if you can relay that message to your 8th grade counselor so that they can email us, and then we'll let you know what arrangements we can make for her.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
But then, like, if I were going back to it.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a good night. I'll make sure that I post the recording. Have a good time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Stay
Bye-bye.
safe.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Deans. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Come by. I didn't count how many.
Excuse me. Are you
Yes.
going to post? Hello?
Go ahead.
Are you gonna post the recording on the school website or where exactly?
It'll be on the Advanced Academics website. So you go to UISD.net, go to Departments, Advanced Academics, and it'll be under the magnet info.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Mr. Rosales, if my daughter has, we've applied, we've already uploaded our documentation, and it says on the website that it's already submitted, final draft or final application, but we haven't received an email. Do we call tomorrow the office just to make sure your office is the numbers that you gave us?
Sure, or you can check your trash or your spam, you know.
It would be
maybe
with her or with me. It would be to her, not to her email.
it'll be whatever email she provided. It's the student email she provided.
Yeah, she hasn't gotten anything, but tomorrow, I guess I'll give you all a call.
All right, thank you very much. We appreciate that.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it. Bye-bye. Good night.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Mr. Rosales, if a student applies with a #1 magnet, like in United High School, after he gets selected, can he change to health magnet or not?
It depends on his ranking, and it depends at what point in time, because if they decide to do that as 10th graders, then they're going to have to make up some courses for, let's say he wants to go to Alexander instead of United. So if he started at United as a freshman and then he wants to go to Alexander and he qualifies, then he needs to make sure that he makes up all the courses he missed as a 9th grader. But they do need to meet with the counselors before any transfer takes place.
No, I mean before he answers the letter, the acceptance letter.
Once you submit your letter of declaration of intent, that's pretty much official. If you need to change it, then you would have to send us another one. But call our office so that we'll be aware before any changes are made.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. All right, thank you very much.
What are dual classes?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
What are dual classes?
Dual classes are college classes where you can get high school and college credit at the same time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good night, everybody.
I think there's a question about feeder pattern. The feeder pattern is, for example, if you go to Trotman, the high school that you belong to, it will be United High School. If you go to United Middle, if your child goes to United Middle, then it will be Alexander. So I'm not sure what middle school your child is attending at this time, but they belong to a high school. That's the feeder pattern.
You can also check the boundaries on the UISD.net website to see which school your child corresponds, especially if they're in the UISD schools. If not, if they're in private schools, it just depends where they live. All right, thank you very much.